Hey people, it's bonus time. Thanks for joining me again. How are you guys all doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah. You know me. I've been cooking up some stuff with redstone. A lot of stuff for Deralethsa. Have been building the post office there, and it's turned out well. What I want to show you today is this. It's something I've been cooking up to use in some clock circuits I'm going to be working on. And what this is it is a redstone power change detector. Basically, it detects the change in the power level of a redstone signal. So if it changes, it outputs a signal. And it also outputs a different signal according to whether or not whether the change is going up or whether it's going down. So I will demonstrate here to give you a little bit better idea, and then we are going to build it together. So first of all, we can start by using an item frame. Item frames output, using a comparator, they output a signal from, I believe it's 1 to 8 of power level. And so this will show us each time the power level changes. So it's going from 1 to 2, goes up, that lights, and 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, and this time it's going to go from 8 to 1, and it went down. So that's the separate signal for going down. I'll also demonstrate it with these levers here. We will start with this signal strength, which is going to input a strength of approximately, I believe it's going to be 13. So, and that went up from 0. So yes, that's the up light. And then we're going up again to 14. Yes, went up. Now we're going to go back down to 13, down, and back down to 0, down, and up, and down. Yeah, so there you have it. It's a pretty handy thing. Let's see, I was trying to figure out how to do this, and in my attempts to figure out the key concept behind it, which we'll discuss as soon as we get into the building, attempts to figure that out, I looked up some Minecraft tutorials online. Did a bat just... Okay. Anyway, and I found one by a guy named Skaterzero 807, and he had created basically this exact same thing, a little less efficient design, took up a lot more space, but the best part of it was that he had the key concept down, and he helped me to figure out what that was. And as soon as I knew the key concept, I knew I could develop a very compact and efficient form of the redstone power detector. Alright, so let's get into it, shall we? So you're going to start with a 3x4 space, and the power input that you want has got to come from either going longwise on one of the short sides. It's got to come from either the center of the short side, or you can input from either the right or the left, but not both. And then, so you can use that as a basis of where you want to put it, and the outputs will come out on the opposite side. So then we'll just lay down some of the basic blocks here. So we'll have that T shape going to the right there. Actually, it needs to be a plus shape with a hole in the center. And that's really it. plus shape with a hole in the center and raised blocks on all the sides. Then in the center, I'm going to put a comparator, and this creates the basis for the two different essential circuits that are built into this small area here. So the first circuit that we need is also a basis for both of them, really. And it goes off of this one using this redstone here. And we take a comparator going off of it. And then this is where it splits into the two different circuits. So one of them goes down this way. And we will take another comparator off of there. So it's going from here to there, to there, to there, to there, and to there. And then we are going to use, let's see, we'll have a comparator also here, also taking from our initial comparator. So that gets the signal first, and then there's a little bit of delay before the signal comes back around and back into this comparator. And then this one needs to be in subtraction mode, like that. Make sure the torch is on in the front. And finally, our resulting output is right there. So, to demonstrate this, this is going to be the signal increase state. So, that'll light up for a short while every time the signal increases. Yep. Works just fine. And another thing I need to point out is the reason this didn't work the second time. You need something, this redstone dust here, has to be redstone dust, and it has to be pointing in this direction. So, you have to have something telling it that it needs to be straight. It can't be just a dot, because if it is, it'll power this block again, and that power will go back into this circuit and cause it to loop infinitely like it's doing right here. So how we avoid that is, there's one of two things we can do. We can either set our input to be from the side here, or if we don't want to bother with that, we can change it to a repeater and put a dust here. And so as you'll see, our circuit will work just fine again. Well, or so I had imagined. Strangely, it's not. Well, the other solution I had is just to put a repeater there. It serves no function other than to just change the direction of the redstone wiring there. And then, yes, now our circuit works again. So that's the increasing circuit. And I'll take a quick moment to explain how it works. So, as this is here, I will. Okay, so that was just for demonstration. So as this is holding a signal, the first of these comparators, these end comparators, talking about this one and this one, to get the signal is this one, because it's right on the other side of our initial comparator. This one comes second because comparators have, I believe, a half-tick delay in terms of how fast they transmit redstone signal. And so this also outputs, our initial comparator also outputs to this redstone dot, which outputs to this comparator, which goes down here, and that's instantaneous, but it has the half-tick delay with that comparator, and then it goes into this comparator. So that gives us a full tick delay, approximately, before this outputs here. To explain what that's actually doing, well, when we have a power update, like that. And the power changes. This one is going to have the new signal faster than this one. So this one, for a small amount of time, will be outputting the old signal. Therefore, if the new signal, which is here first, is greater than the old signal, which is here for a moment and then updates to the new signal, then this comparator, which is in subtraction mode, it's subtracting this signal strength from this signal strength. So when this one is lesser, for just that split second as the signal updates, it's allowing basically a signal strength of 1 to get through. And so it does until that one updates to the new signal strength. And so naturally, the detection circuit for downward, or for a decreasing signal, is essentially the opposite. How mine works is that it works off our old delay circuit a little bit and gives us a new delay. We branch off and put redstone there and a comparator right here. Put that one in subtraction mode. And that gives us our new output for when the signal decreases. So watch that redstone carefully. And it gives a pulse. Alright, so you might be wondering how exactly that worked. Maybe, or maybe you get it. Basically, it's, in this case, for the first one we compared the new signal to the old signal. In this one we're comparing the old signal to the new signal. Or in other words, we're subtracting the new signal from the old signal. Therefore, if the new signal is less than the old signal, and the new signal basically outputs, it's subtracting 1 less than the exact value of the old signal, which means that, once again, for just a split second, it lets a signal through of signal strength 1. And if you want to increase the signal strength, of course, you can always just use some redstone repeaters. So yeah, I thought I'd just make that quick tutorial and a little bit of explanation. I'm definitely going to be using this. I want to see what I've done is I've created some different clocks here. This one's part redstone and part physical stuff, and it changes according to the time of day, but it only resets via redstone once a day according to exact noon time, and it's a little bit faulty because after that point it just goes off of its own time, which isn't very precise. I have a quadruple hopper timer circuit here that causes the minecart to move every time it cycles. So the minecart basically goes in circles, and but yeah, it only resets at noontime and only if the weather's clear. So that one's not the best, not the most efficient thing. And then here I have one that's all redstone. It's essentially the same thing, just without the minecart, which makes the redstone itself much more complex. But it achieves basically the same thing. So we're at high noon right now. Yeah. See, they stay synchronized. But yeah, this one is the same in that it resets at high noon and runs off its own set time as the day goes on. Now this is not a device, but rather it's a test. It's test results. Each of these blocks represents the time of day, and it represents the redstone power values for each time of day. And one's branching off of a daylight sensor, and the other is branching off of an encased daylight sensor, which outputs a different signal during nighttime that's unaffected by weather. Which is, it's a lot more reliable than working off a slightly faulty hopper timer. So I'm going to try and figure out a clock circuit that uses these values. I'll zoom in just to show you. I'll go close. So we've got high noon here. And high noon is signal strength 14 when it's nearing midnight or the power is decreasing. So as the power goes down from the very top level here, high noon starts at level 14. Then it goes down and it hits this, which is late afternoon. And then it hits here, which is sunset. And then the night levels are increasing. So it has early night. Oh wait, no, sorry, this is early night. Early night. And then midnight, essentially. After it's reached this point and is going back down. And then it's going back down toward daytime. And this is early morning. And then this is going back up. And this is sunrise as it's nearing noon. And the power is increasing. And finally we have late morning. So just, a bunch of different values for those that I'm going to be working with to create a much more reliable redstone clock. And as you can imagine, with the times relying on whether or not the power state changed and what direction it changed in, I set out to figure this out, and I did. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this information useful. And if there's anything else you'd like me to try and figure out with redstone, or just simply do a tutorial on, please feel free to comment and let me know. Otherwise, please like, and if you like enough, do subscribe. It's been good times, and I'll catch you later on BoNuS time.